What's going on, guys? It's Lewis here with Crypto Elite, and today we are going to do a market update. I have about an hour and 20 minutes, so I want to get to it. What we're going to do is we're going to go over Bitcoin, big picture stuff, then we're going to go over Ethereum, perhaps the S&P 500, maybe the dollar, and then if I have time, I'll go over some of the not charts, but just big picture strategies that I'm doing. So I don't want to waste any time. If you want to support me, you could click on the Bybit link down below in the description and sign up to Bybit and start trading there, or any of the other links that I have as well. So let's get started with Bitcoin. And as you could see, it did just pop up above this big consolidation zone that we had there. So let me go to the monthly chart and pop this up here. So there we go. We got the monthly chart of Bitcoin up here, and starting off on some big picture things. What I've said before is that back in 2013 to 2015, we had a drawdown of 86%. Then in 2017 to 2018, we had a drawdown of 84%. And this drawdown from 2021 to 2022 was actually let's say 78%. So it wasn't quite in the 80% range, which makes me still a little nervous, a little apprehensive of, was this actually the bottom? Along with that, you can see clearly, let's do this because I do not need the bottom stuff. You can see that there was a wick here. There was a wick. Let me get this out. There was a wick right here. What is this? Hold on a second. I don't know why this vertical line is here. Yeah, there's no point. Oh, I know why that vertical line was there. Never mind. Yeah, so there was a wick here. 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 There was a small wick here. There was a wick here, but right here, nothing. No wick whatsoever. So, well, actually, I guess if you zoom in, there's a micro wick. We have a micro wick right here. And typically, though, you know, there is somewhat of a wick to the bottom. So that doesn't necessarily really mean anything. But typically within a 12-month span, we're only 4 months in so far. So technically, what if it comes all the way back down here in the next, like, let's say 5 months, and then shoots all the way up here in the next 2 months? You know, who knows? Who knows what could happen? But there was no wick, and also it only went down 78%. It did not go down, 80%, 84%, 86%, what it did the last couple times. Also, it did not reach the yearly open and close from 2017, the high right here, the close, I mean. It didn't reach that. That's pretty much where I was expecting it to go. This is the range high, and it's 80% off the top. It's confluent with previous cycles, and also the 88% fib is right there. So there was a lot of confluence for that area. I suppose if we bring this up to the top, bring this down to the bottom. Yeah, the 88% is still right there. So let me bring that back. So yeah, come on. Why is this? What is going on here? There you go. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're having this huge run up, and maybe that was it. Maybe this was the bottom, but I'm just throwing this out there that you don't know, you don't really know. So that's one thing to keep in mind. The other thing, though, is that, of course, we are moving up. And we are above the 2017 highs. That's what this orange line was. This was the highs. So this was 2017 highs, right? And we're above here. So as long as we're above the 2017 highs, that's pretty much like I'm bullish, you know, above here. And if we go to the weekly, maybe there's something else. Yeah, so this is the weekly chart. You can see this is the weekly. These were the highs on the weekly chart. And we came, if you just look to the right, we had a little bit of consolidation right there. And then some consolidation right there, dipped below it, came back above it, came back, boom, tapped it actually perfectly. And now we're on our way up. And right now, like micro term, I'm very, very bullish. Why am I very, very bullish? I'm very, very bullish because as you could see, this was, let's go back to the 12-month chart. This was the yearly open for 2021, right? This was the yearly open for 2021. This was the yearly close for 2020. And we're now above that. So I wouldn't fade this. You know, I would not, that's not something that I would want to fade. And we had a doji monthly back in February, followed by a swing failure pattern back in March. And now we're moving all the way back up. And so on the monthly charts, we can take the fib from the top to the bottom, and the 61.8 is right here. So I have this 36,000. I'm going to bring this down just a tad. So I'm going to bring it down right there. This is my area of interest for really saying, okay, I think that it's time to start looking for shorts. We might have this run up, you know, up here, and then before we make our way back down, and then perhaps come back up, perhaps continue to go, you know, make a lower low. Anything is possible, but this area at $35,000 to $36,000, that's the 61.8 of this move down. So I'm going to put some alerts in right here just to really be sure, because I'm definitely going to be selling a whole lot, pretty much everything, once this area is reached. So yeah, on the monthly chart, this is really the next area that I see on the monthly chart. However, on the weekly chart, we definitely have something. But before I get into the weekly chart, I do want to go over this right here. Previous cycles from top to bottom lasted around 406 days. 2013 crash, 2015 bottom was 406 days. 2017 crash to 2018 bottom was 364 days. Maybe this crash will also last somewhere between 360 to 400 days. And the length of the crash from top to bottom was 395 days. So 400 days. Literally, look at that. It's pretty much exact. That's crazy. Anyway, let's go to the weekly chart now. See what we got here. So on the weekly chart, now this is important. We were, you know, I wrote it out. I wrote it out here. It's going to be easier. So we were in this range down basically like right here, right? We were in this range, and now we are back in this range. So we were in this range from here to here, right? And now we broke above it. So now this was the resistance. Now this is the support. And what's the new range? The new range is, if you go all the way back to May through June of 2022, this is the new range that we're back in, or we're back in this old range, right? So if we fall back below this old range's support area, which is now this, which is also this previous range's resistance area, if we fall back below there, then this potentially is just going to be a deviation, and, you know, we're just going to tank hard and crypto's over, just short everything, right? But I don't think that that's going to happen. Personally, I see us heading to the top of the range up here at 31,800, because that's the top of this range right here. We had this huge breakout, massive amounts of volume, or at least, you know, a lot of volume. And it just seems like we wouldn't come out of this ascending triangle looking formation, come up after being in this huge consolidation for such a long time, and then we break out of it. I mean, this is a classic pattern of the whale. And I don't even know what the hell I'm drawing right now. But this is a classic whale fin pattern, right? So clearly, this is going to continue to swing up and get here, and then potentially even swing all the way up to this $38,000 region before the whale smacks its tail back down and comes back down to about 25,000. That's what I'm thinking. By the way, if you like these drawings, if you like this TA, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to comment. Do you like the whale? Do you think that the whale drawing is actually correct and that we are going to hit up 32,000 and potentially 38,000? Because I'm thinking that this is pretty much what's going to happen. And just to reiterate, as I drew out right here, we should not go back below this line. If this is actually a breakout, like, we're not going back below here. If this falls, like if this falls back down here, we're basically screwed. So if it falls back here, I'm long from like right when we broke out, right around here. I started longing because I don't think that we're even going to get a pullback. So if we do and we go down here, I'm going to take my L and I'm going to think that this is a deviation, and I'm going to target here, and then I'll target here. But right now, this is my target up here, and my other target is going to be up here. But I'm going to take my profits here first, see what happens, because, this is the top of this range, and then it'll probably come back down and do something. If we take the fib from this bottom to this top, it'll probably come all the way up here, tag this, and then probably, where is it? Come back down to here before moving up and getting to that 38,000 region, right? So that's what I'm thinking on Bitcoin right now. Now let's move on to Ethereum. Okay, so now we're on to Ethereum, and I got the yearly chart up here. Maybe there's a better, actually, here we go. This one's probably better. So let me reset this chart view. All right, so for Ethereum, what do we got? Well, pretty much, something extremely similar, because Bitcoin and Ethereum are very similar. So yeah, I did get some at $1,000, pretty much like right around there, which was great. But obviously it wasn't that much, because I wanted to continue to come down, for it to continue to come down. And then this was the 88%. This is where I was really gonna plan on going all in, right around here, $700. Did not catch that, so I still have some cash for my spot positions, but I'm going in pretty heavy. Like at this point, I'm in pretty heavy, and I'm just basically doing what I have to do. And looking at the yearly chart for this, I mean, this is the fib from this bottom to this top down to the 78.6, and then it came below there. Though the yearly doesn't really do it justice, or it really doesn't. I can't really tell much from the yearly, right? So, but the monthly chart, though, let's look at the monthly chart. So this was the 2017, 2018 highs, closes for the close. It came down, tagged it, and that's what I was saying for Bitcoin. I was thinking it was for Bitcoin, it was going to come down to the closing. It came down to the highs on Bitcoin. So for Ethereum, the equivalent would have been 1,400. It would have been right here. But this is where Bitcoin ended up bouncing from. But Ethereum did actually come down to the highs, which is great, and actually a little bit down below the highs as well. So we got that, and now we are on a monthly time frame in a bull market, because we closed, as you could see right here, in January. January ended up closing above the previous market structure. So we have a high, we have a low, we have a high, we have a higher low, and then we broke above this previous high. And if you want to be super safe, then in March, just a few days ago, that's when we broke above this high right here, which was the previous like high, low, high. So this was the previous swing high that we had, like essentially before this move up. So now we're definitely in a bull market, on a monthly time scale on Ethereum and Bitcoin, I think as well. Just based off market structure, just literally solely based off of market structure. So that's pretty good. So I definitely want to be always looking for longs. Like my bias is long. I want to have a long bias overall. So this is the monthly chart. Let's go down into the weekly chart. Oh, actually, before we do that, if you take the fib from the top to the bottom, where's the 61.8 right here? Well, it's 2,475. It's actually 2,500. So we got 2,500, lots of resistance right here, maybe on the weekly. Yeah, okay, tons of resistance right here. So the equivalent of Bitcoin's 61.8 is, or I guess equivalent of Bitcoin's, what was it, 35,000? Yeah, right here for Bitcoin. Well, that is this area for Ethereum. And let me get this chart back up. That is this area for Ethereum, which is 2,500 pretty much. So at 2,500, I want to be starting to sell a lot. Now, the other thing that I noticed is that, let's go to the daily chart. On April 12th, tomorrow, literally, or in 2 days, we're supposed to have the Shanghai upgrade for Ethereum. And the other upgrades that happened, Ethereum tanked. But Ethereum is like this Shanghai upgrade isn't doing jack shit. It's not doing anything. Like the market is not reacting at all to this upgrade. Like it's a nothing burger. So I guess like it doesn't really matter. Like you just sort of have to go based off of the charts. This was super confusing to trade. So like I didn't really trade this, but now we have a pretty clean, like we have a clean break. We have a clean break above right here. And wow, look at that. Clean break above the previous highs. All right. So this was the high, this was the low, this was the, equal highs, higher lows, boom. And now we got a shot above it, created this new high, pull back into the 61.8, basically the sweet spot. And now we are closing. Yeah, we made a close above the previous swing high. So we're probably going to continue to move up. It's, nothing is known. All that's known now is that now we are in a new range. So we have, this is the new range from basically here to here. So we could ping pong between these two areas, or we could move up into, just under 2,000, which is this area right here. So this for Ethereum, this is the previous high. This whole area right here, right between basically 1980 and 2000 and 2030. So basically anywhere between 2,000 plus or minus $30 is the big resistance for Ethereum. So once it comes up here, I'll definitely be showing a lot hesitance. I'd probably want to sell up into this area because it'll probably get a drop from the previous resistance. Even if the drop is only to say here before it moves back up, there's probably going to be I wouldn't see this just shooting up past this previous resistance right here for Ethereum, that would seem a little crazy to me. So I'm going to put some alerts in right here and say this is where I want to be selling my Ethereum. So I guess because this Shanghai upgrade isn't really doing anything, it's sort of a nothing burger, I don't really want to, it's like I don't want to just denounce it, but I guess I'll just make the line super light like that. Or I'll make it a different color. Maybe I'll make it like a yellowish or something. Yeah. Anyway, if on the lower time frames now, what do I see? Well, this is what I see on the lower time frames. I actually wrote this out down here in this one. So on the lower time frames, what do we have? Well, like I said, we have the break of market structure above, and that creates this range right here. Then we got the 61.8, which lined up with the previous resistance levels, which turns into support, which is really, really good. So this would have been a perfect longing opportunity where you long here, shorts, long here, take profits, probably pretty much like where we are right now. But now what happened is, since we did come up and we broke the market structure again, we broke it right here. We have this up move before the down move that originally broke this market structure. Now that we're above there, now that this candle sort of just shot well above there, this right here becomes a breaker, okay? So at first this was an order block. So if you wanted to play that out, you would actually short it. So you would say once the price came down to this area, once it comes up within this box, you would short it and you would target new lows, right? That would be the game plan. But because it actually shot up past it, now it becomes a bullish breaker, which means that once the price comes back down to it, it could be here, it could be somewhere underneath of, the top of the box. It could be right here, which is the close, or it could be down here at the bottom. It doesn't really matter. You're hoping that it's going to act as a support now, and then you could target up here, or you could target the highs again, or you could target up here. And that's what I'm thinking is a good play. So pretty much stacking orders in, starting right here, just stacking orders in this general area is what I'm planning on doing. Of course, if let's say that this was the top, then taking the fib from the bottom to the top, and then stacking orders right around here, the 61.8, basically putting an order in right here would be the ideal situation, because then you could get a killer R, well, not killer RR, but like you get 2.74 RR. It's really solid. That's a super solid RR, and that would be a pretty good, excellent trade setup. So this is Ethereum. This is what I'm looking at for Ethereum on the lower time frames. I'll put an alert in to perhaps say look for long setups around this area, and then if the price does come back down here, then I'll look for sweeps. I'll look for bullish order. I'll look for basically sweeps, because we already have the breaker, and yeah, that's what I'll look for. So the only thing is though, because Bitcoin, I don't think that Bitcoin is going to come back down. So if we go back to Bitcoin, I really don't see Bitcoin coming back down to this area. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we got enough consolidation here. People were buying and buying and buying. People who wanted to buy bought. So I don't see it coming back down here. I see it maybe coming back, maybe coming back down to 29,000, but all the way back down to 28,600, 28,500 area. I don't see that. So I don't really also, I don't see Ethereum coming down to this area either. So I'd probably, to be honest, want to just get in at the 50, especially if, let's see here. Yeah, I think the 50 is where it's at. Maybe, the 38.2 is a little bit above the breaker, but I think the 50%, it just makes it gives you a little bit more certainty if it even does decide to come down there, So that's my thoughts on Ethereum. Pretty much stacking orders within this breaker is the way to go, in my opinion. Of course, nothing I talk about is financial advice. So you always got to, do your own thing and talk to a financial advisor, just like put risk on that you're willing to put on. Like, this is all just for entertainment and education. So we got that, and that's Ethereum. All right, so now I will quickly go into the dollar and then a couple other things. Looking at the dollar, it did come down to the $100 supply zone, which, I was saying it was going to come down here. tag this, it did, and then pop back up. I honestly would have expected it to continue moving up, but this monthly chart does look really bad because you don't, like, typically if something comes up and then comes all the way back down, like on a monthly chart, you know, or on any chart, like just this pattern doesn't look very good because that's pretty much a huge wick up, and then, you know, it closed down here, so it's a little candle right here, a little body with a huge wick. That's not too good. And if we go down to the weekly chart, now it's starting to look, I mean, I guess this is somewhat of like a head and shoulders type of formation where you could say that you have this shoulder over here, if not maybe this shoulder ahead, and then just like now this. If this was the first shoulder or if this was second shoulder, who really knows, who really cares? The thing is, though, that it's not looking that good, especially with this candle right here on the weekly as well, and this candle right here. It came up, tagged it, had a SFP, came all the way back down. So I would expect the dollar to be sort of weak. Plus, there's all of these other things going on in the world right now with Russia and China and BRICS and all these other countries getting into creating their own standards so that they can get off of the reliance of the dollar. That's going to be pretty big. But yeah, this right here is basically the area that looks like it will be where on the weekly chart the price will come back down. If we go down to a lower time frame, this is also, yeah, I mean, this is resistance, resistance, support, 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 resistance, resistance. So yeah, there's a pretty big resistance area. This is what I would expect happening with the dollar. If not, unless the dollar literally just starts turning over right now, because it doesn't really look too hot for the dollar. But that's what I would think, which would be great because that would be confluent with Bitcoin and Ethereum moving up, which would be really, really good. And it would be great. Maybe the dollar rolls and just comes down, sucks up the liquidity underneath here before pumping up again. Don't really know. So that's the dollar, and then I'll just do the ES1 real quick, which I don't typically do it, but pretty much we were in this, you know, underneath this resistance for a super, 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 super long time. Pretty much, yeah, an entire year of just bouncing off of this huge resistance. And then finally we busted it back above it, came back down, tapped it as a support, and now we're looking pretty solid. It's not looking terrible. So, I mean, green, like lots of green weeks. Let's go to the daily chart. A little bit of a better view of things. This is, yeah, I mean, this looks like it's moving up for some consolidation before potentially another move up. Looking at the horizontals, there is something that I do see here, though, where we are right now. This is a fairly big, yeah, I mean, yeah, this is a fairly big horizontal area that we are coming into of a resistance. So there is that. So I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to bring this down right here. So yeah, we are coming into a resistance, but I don't know why I have this bullish bias right now. I'm bullish bias probably because I just entered into a bunch of longs, but yeah, I'm bullish on Ethereum, I'm bullish on Bitcoin, I'm bullish on S&P, I'm bearish on the dollar. Things are looking more up. I already told you my game plan for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So let me just go into I don't really want to go into other alts, but I will tell you basically my bigger game plan. So 1 second. So now I'm just going to talk a little bit about like my overall strategy and what I'm doing right now, and just what I've been doing and stuff like that. Pretty much, obviously, we go in cycles, right? So there's lots of there's market cycles. I'm actually reading a book on market cycles right now, so I'll have to make a video on that too. But when it comes to market cycles, what I've noticed is that there are these altcoins that are micro cap coins or very, very low market cap coins that are just, you know, this went up 10x. This did a 10x in just 20 days Loop network, right? And I mentioned this all the way back down here in this zone, which was like amazing. And I'm thinking that getting into these lower market cap coins, like I wish I put a lot more into this, but like we have Loop Network, we have CAS Network, which is, or CASPA, which is also available on MEXC Exchange, which I will leave a link to MEXC Exchange in the description below. If you want to get in on these coins, you could use that. I think that MEXC is the new KuCoin. And I think that these coins like Caspa, like Loop, like there's another one, I think it was Cats. Like this one was an absolute banger. Like all of these coins are just doing multiples compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum and the bigger, the bigger market cap coins. So I think that, I mean, personally, I can't tell you what to do, but I'm just saying for me personally, I really want to look into these lower market cap coins, and I want to dedicate more money into them. I want to put more money into these low cap cryptocurrencies. And by the way, I have these. If you go to my Discord group, there will be a link in the description. If you go to my Discord group and you click, if you go to the search bar, type in newsletter, okay? Type in newsletter, and then you can see that I have a Substack. This is in the VIP, so maybe there's one in the free chat. So scroll down to the free chat, and you'll be able to see this newsletter thing. This is my Twitter, so if you're not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter too. But I started updating my newsletter with a $100,000 portfolio. And so that's a $100,000 crypto portfolio update. That's what I'm doing. And you could sign up to the newsletter. It's called the Crypto Elite Newsletter. It's on Substack. I try to put things out every few weeks, every 2 weeks or something like that. This is my latest issue, and these are all the different things that I use. And well, not all of them, just some of them. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool newsletter. I'm going to try to put out like more things, because sometimes I don't want to make a video, sometimes I want to write stuff. So I put everything in writing in my newsletter. So sign up to that by going to the Discord and then typing newsletter into the search bar, and then just finding this tweet right here, or simply just, I guess, maybe going to substack.com or whatever it is, and then typing Crypto Elite in the search bar. You'll be able to find it and sign up to that, because that'll be really interesting. Also, there's a lot of things I want to get into, but I did want to mention at the end of this video, I went over Bitcoin, I went over Ethereum, I went over the dollar, I went over the S&P 500, but the big macro picture is that for a lot of the coin, some of my biggest gainers were things like Quant Network, were things like Engine Coin, stuff that I held from, really honestly, like down, if we go to the weekly chart, from 2019-ish, like 2019, 2020, stuff that I bought down here, and I sort of just like held, and I just held, and I held, and I held. Even some, basically I could hold it for an entire year or more, and then it pops up and it does a 4,000x, it does a 40x or a 30x or something crazy like that. I don't know if this is going to do that again. In fact, to be honest, I don't think that these coins are going to a lot of these coins are going to get back up here again. I think a lot of them might just be done. I do love Engine because they're still working, really hard. And I do love Quant because obviously Quant, me and Quant, how much I love Quant, right? But I think that a lot of these coins they're not going to reach these levels again, where they do 1,000% gains or 20 or 4,000% gains. However, I do think they're going to do very, very in a short period of time, but you don't know. So that's why I still have my Quant. I still have some Engine. I still have some other coins. But what I am doing is I am looking into these coins that, came out pretty recently, like Loop Network, like Caspa, and like these other coins that are available on MEXC and on these smaller exchanges. And I'm trying to get into them. So if you could find out a way, research a way how to do research, how to find coins that you know, have potential, that are coming out, that are new, they're pretty much they're basically like 5 to 10x or bust. They're going to go up a lot, or they're going to fall down, and, you know, you're maybe rug pull, you're going to lose your money. So I put, you know, let's say you put $1,000 into, or $500 into 5 different coins, you know, and two of them rug. Well, you lost $1,000, but you still have $500 spread across 3 of them. So that's $1,500. And if they did, you know, let's say a 5x each, you're making good money, or you're making bank, you know, on that. And imagine if you put in more. You know, obviously, I wish I put in a lot more. But I did do really well with Caspa and Loop. I need, you know, I'm gonna put more in Loop if it falls down again. But yeah, that's what I would recommend, or not recommending. Sorry, I take that back. I don't recommend anything. This is what I'm doing, is I'm looking for coins like this. I'm very glad that I got into these, and I'll try to look for more. And once I find more, I'll put more into this, you know, into my VIP, and maybe I'll put some into the newsletter and stuff. I have some other one. Let's see, some other ones that I put down. I put this one, Sora Network. I put Witnet, which was actually pretty good because Odd Gems, you know, posted about that. I get some alpha from Twitter, which was actually great. And I'm looking for some other ones, but one second. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so I just want to mention there's a million ways that you could go about trading crypto, right? You could trade just Bitcoin. You could trade Bitcoin and Ethereum, the top, you know, the higher market cap coins. You could trade pretty much whatever you want. You could do swing trading. You could buy and hold. You could do short-term trading, day trading. You could buy, you know, low market cap coins. But I really think that having some in the low market cap coins will produce the greatest results when it comes to whenever there's another bull market, whenever that might be, or even when there's not a bull market, because like there hasn't I mean, yeah, we're sort of in a bull market now, but like not really, you know. But some of these low cap coins still popped off. So I think dedicating some resources and time to figure that out is really good. So I'm really going to be doing a lot of that, as well as trading, of course, you know, Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these other coins as well. Oh, one other thing that I'll just put in here as a side note, just in case you watch to the very, very end, is that Dogecoin, what you could do, Dogecoin just had this huge run up, right? So if you take the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top of a huge run up, either this one, or you could say from here to here, or I guess this already happened. So I would say from here to here. Usually it goes down to the 61.8 and then pops up to the 38.2. So I have some orders in right around here, and I'm thinking it's gonna come up, you know, and then probably come back down. Who knows? But I think this is a pretty good trade setup. You know, it's good. It's only 12%, so it's not huge. And I also want to get some at the 50%, take some profit. So 6%, 12%. That's not really the best. I thought it was going to be a little bit better, but you know, that's typically a good trade setup that I like to do. You could also, to be on the safe side, take it from the close, you know, from the low to the close, and try to get in down here, which maybe gives you a little bit greater. Not really. It actually gives you less R. So yeah, those are just big picture stuff, different strategies that I'm doing. And with that, I'm going to end this here. Hope you guys had a good Easter. Hope everything's going good with you. Stay safe, stay profitable, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.